it's like self-confidence because you use it every day, even though you don't notice it or like don't realize that you use it, but use it every day as a I see it as a like a tool that is helpful throughout life.
I agree, and I wanted to add on that I think a quote from Officer was that these world outlooks are largely imaginary. I don't correspond to reality. And I think what we were trying to say is that like ideology is not the truth, but it's like a path so that people can believe that it's the truth. So it's a great description that we have today. Also like the second part of the question, it says cognitive function. Like it is how that is a complex function and it's used to control people. It is like telling people what's right and wrong, making them believe it.
To what you said, I think media is one of the biggest ways it to function. Like for example, in the film, you see media everywhere, newspapers, billboards, and all that. It's the biggest way it functions because too many people are into media that they don't even realize it.
Wait, can you repeat that? I'm confused.
I think media is one of the biggest way it functions because it influences mostly everyone who uses media on the everyday life, which is the majority of people, and at least here in the U.S., it influences in our ideas and what we think.
I agree with Jonathan that media is one of the ways that most people see ideology, but I also think that family members, they kind of have like a part of it because when you're born, like you can't make your own decisions or think your own ideas. So your family members may apply those to you and make you have some different type of ideas.
I like to agree and disagree with you also because I feel like family is the only one that influence you. Especially everything around you that influences the family is usually the one that influence you one way or the other.
To what Jenny said, I agree with her. It's like sometimes you could notice ideology, but then there's other times where like you don't even know why something happens, but you know it's happening. So I think that is part of what ideology is.
Going back to what Jenny said, like she said that not only your family like influences you, but like when you're born and like when you're still small, pretty much all you know is your family. Like it's like a big part until you're older and you can make your own decisions.
Yeah.
I would say,
And your opinions, biases, which biases and biases are necessary and which could be given. For me, I use the personal anecdote, and I said that like throughout all these years we've been in school, and I think like one of the main points that they want us to do is like go to college, and I said that I think this is necessary because in society, like in order to be successful, we need a degree. And I also think like it's a good way to show that when we have a degree, it shows that we worked hard throughout all these years to get where we are today.
For this question, was basically what Stephanie just told us. That I think the most necessary I say is the family. It's actually said like they're the only ones. To be honest, they're the only ones that are always there. And like since we're small, they always teach us what we're supposed to know, what is right and what is wrong. So I think that's like the most important thing.
I agree with Jonathan and Karina about education and family being the most important because those are the both present in everyone's life, and it's like they shape you so you could like become who you want to be.
Yeah, I agree with Jonathan and Cindy because With me, I wrote about an RSA. There was an example of an RSA because that's like a punishment that you serve for doing bad stuff, or which will you will learn from. So if you don't learn from a punishment like jail, you'll keep doing it and you'll become a habit.
I agree with Nick that the RSA is like important because the RSA like keeps people like not behave bad, and like if people behave bad, then the RSA will come in, and if you don't follow the ISA, then the RSA has to come in and there will be like no there will be like how do you say this disorder, like everything will be like all over the place, and there's no like someone that's telling you what to do.
I agree with Kimberly because it's like if you don't do something, if you do something bad and then nobody tells you it's wrong, and we're gonna think it's right, and then you're gonna keep doing it, and other people are gonna keep doing it, and then it's just gonna like make the city all bad because everybody's doing things and nobody tells them that if it's right or wrong.
I agree with them also. Obviously, I think we need ISAs and especially RSAs for like the world and everything to run smoothly. For example, like in school, if you break like a rule, you just it's just ISA. Let's say you like get a RC or something, as in like let's say you break the law or something, that's when the RSA comes in. And yeah, I feel like they're both necessary because without everything would be like the world would be chaos.
I don't think it's like really necessary. I think some ISA should be like, we should probably get rid of, like the religious ISA and the educational ISA. Because religion is, in the article, he said that like if pretty much limits are thinking, you're like learn not to question it. In the educational between, private schools and public, it's like a trend that private schools are like, they think they're better than public schools because they have more money, more than to like marks critiques or whatever. Pretty much in a capitalist society, you have like more money, you're more powerful. So I think that's like one that we should.
So you believe that we should get rid of religious and education? I disagree with you. I believe that we need both because they both teach us morally things. For example, in church they teach us what's good and bad, and then in school they teach us the education things too. So I don't know why we should get rid of those things.
But, and our question is, article says we should base our beliefs, with reasoning, logic, and evidence, and there's no evidence that is real.
I also think that the religious ISA should be gone. I think it has a very big impact on people, and some are positive, but I also think it is negative. At least for me, because it has control for a lot of people. Like a lot of people depend on to make their life better, and that is something wrong that they're learning. They depending on religious too much when they don't depend on themselves, their own ideas.
We can also be like a motivation for them to have someone that they can look up to.
I agree with Eric, and like I don't think religion in general is like bad, because as a real life situation, it's like a lot of people like you ask them, oh, do you drink or do you do this? And they go, oh no, this is my religion, and like that, I guess it keeps more like bad things from happening. So like sometimes it like it's good, so bad things don't happen.
But there's still like a lot of conflict between different types of religions that they can't seem to get along together. If it teaches you to be like morally right, do good, why can't they agree on something like that to be united or something?
To be honest, if you pay attention, like there's never been like big events or like negative events going on because of religion. Like you see more negative events happening because of like, I don't know, guns and all that.
Agree with Jonathan. Because also, like, yeah, religion, people follow and stuff, but like also you don't have to be part of a religion. Like, let's say, okay, let's say you're like, I'm Catholic, but there's a lot of things that I don't agree with my religion, and I don't necessarily, like, even though I am Catholic, like, I don't exactly like believe something that Jesus is saying. And like it all depends on who you are because you don't have to like make sense. So you don't have to follow exactly all the rules. So it all depends on who like what you exactly do.
I agree. I think religion's not really the problem. I think it's the people who follow the religion. Because I think sometimes like different people make a big deal out of nothing. And I think that, you know, like people look to God for like hope and just hope. But then at the same time, hope is good and bad because you're kind of depending on God to like make everything better. But then at the same time, you like look at God and like you don't expect Him to make things better, but you feel like He's kind of like a sign of faith.
Adding on to that, like, I agree that it depends on like how you see religion. Like, you read in the Althusser one that there's like no one truth. So it just like depends on how you follow your religion or how you see like interpret what like your pastor is saying.
Exactly. What do you think?
I agree with Green that it depends on people because I grew up with a religious mom. She's like really into it. And like since I was small, but I don't feel like it has impacted me as much. Like how you guys are saying that you can take it to like I don't feel like it limits me. I feel like it's more motivation to me.
Joaquin, do you have anything to say on what we're discussing?
I agree with Karina's statement about how God, like we have our own choice, our own opinions.
What do you think, Jonathan? Oh, you
What do you think of it?
Well, I know like we're talking about like the stuff that we like want to keep and rarely stuff we would get rid of. And one that I say that we could get rid of, but it's impossible, is communications, I say. Like through TV, like the news and stuff, or through press, sometimes like the people are kind of biased, and like the bias, I don't know, like people don't like it, like people's ideas on TV, and it impacts some people and some, and like I know we can't change it, but that's something I believe that like communications, I say, is something we could get rid of.
I disagree with you because I feel like we believe in communication. Through media, we get informed through certain things, like news, we get informed through what's going on in the government.
Yeah, but sometimes, like, when they give the information, like, they give, the information, like, in their own opinion and stuff sometimes, and sometimes people don't like it and stuff, so that's.
Yeah, so, but it was that, oh, sorry.
Well, I agree with and disagree with both of you guys. Like, I think it is important to keep communication because like people find out what's going on. So like if like something important happens, then like you can like realize that you're in danger or something. But then sometimes like the news or something, they don't really say the full story. They just do it to get like views and like get more money. And I feel like they change the story even a little bit, but that's still a big deal. Because you never know the full truth.
So that's up to the person to believe it or not.
And you're not there to make sure you're not really like
But usually news have like evidence and how they inform people. Like mostly news depend on like facts or confirmations from like what they're saying. They have to confirm what they're saying if it's true by using it.
Well, I agree with everyone, but then like, if you think about it, they're like, since like I'm in this class in this religious class, and so
she like, well, if you think about it in the news, you don't really learn like about everything that's going on. You know, they always end up blocking out like some things that are like going on. Like I guess like for example, I can say how there was. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was in somewhere in Africa where I guess it was like a war going on, and then it was like I guess the people didn't like it, and the ladies, the women actually stopped it by they stopped it by refusing to have sex with the soldiers, and they made like if you think about it, the news reporters, they wouldn't want to show that on television because that's basically giving like women like power, like that they actually could stop things.
Marx accurate with his critiques of capitalism, especially as to women and free and health?
Before I speak, I want to hear from Liz.
Well, I'm here, but can I add on to number 2? Yeah. Like, you guys were talking about how religion and the media and communication, like, I'm in the middle because in every single aspect or topic, there's a right and a wrong, and there's a point in your life where you realize, do you want to agree or do you want to disagree? So I'm based on like what you hear or what you know, and yeah, basically that's ideology. So it depends on the individual. So I can't really say which one we need and which one we don't.
I think this critiques were accurate because, like in the movie, like the person, like in the film, it said the person who got the raise had like a little monster face or whatever. And then also just like in life and jobs, people always trying to get a raise, always trying to get promoted. Because like I said earlier, like in a capitalist society, whoever has like more money or gets more money is more powerful. But I also like disagree because like my personal experience with Somerset donors, there's like rich people out there that actually do care about other people's needs and like want to help with others, or like help them and like get opportunities.
I like that example you gave, but also like think of it like they weren't gonna help you if they didn't. They're only helping you because they're already rich. Like, so basically, you want to see other people do good, but you think about yourself first. So you only help people after you're financially stable.
I agree with Ahmed, but I also agree with Stephanie. Like Mark says that when it comes to like money, so like we become selfish and we only think about ourselves. And I agree with that. I feel like rich people want to see us do good, but not better than them. And I think that an example of that was in the movie when that guy at first he was like poor, but then he became rich and stuff. And
Yeah, adding on to that, apart from the movie when Stephanie mentioned when they were in the grocery store and then that guy was talking about his promotion and everything, I thought his emphasis was also angry because as an individual, people think that have the mindset of, oh yeah, I deserve this promotion, but then after they choose the person, not the other person for the promotion, they end up feeling isolated or alienated because that brings them down from the mindset and saying that, oh, well, why would I even try if I'm not even gonna get a promotion when I try really hard that time. So yeah, I think it's really accurate.
I agree with Nick because in the movie, the part where Frank says that he wants to stay out of like people's businesses though, like he wants to keep the jobs and like stay out of trouble.
I like to agree with everyone about like how his critiques are like they're accurate. As we've seen when I don't know, like he said that like in the beginning of the movie, I think like to like that life is a game, like keep your own path, walk in a straight line, like to show that first you can't care about no one else but yourself. Like you gotta care about your healthy and your financial is good. So I feel that people still, like I say, compete to be the best, like to be financially best. So yeah.
Joaquin, do you think Marx was accurate?
I think Marx was accurate, like his critique where it says capitalism alienates workers from each other and the world around them. An example would be like in a movie where George puts on glasses and there's this like some people are aliens and some look like normal, and so that would like separate or isolate the people.
I think he was correct. Capitalism makes people amateur. Like Frank, he got a job and then he didn't want to question anything. He was just like, oh, I got a job, so I just have to do this to get the money. But people only focus on the benefits of themselves. Like, let's say, yeah, can you come back to it?
I said that I think he was true that it's true that it makes people feel, capitalism makes people feel alienated, but I think it's kind of like good in a way, because in capitalism, you know, we have freedom, and I think with that freedom, people have created companies that have provided jobs for other people, but at the same time, I think it's kind of bad because, you know, maybe people don't want to be like in the bottom, they want to be on the top, but I think at the same time, they have to work hard in order to get what they want to do.
I also think like having competition is really important because like it shows that you put in the dedication and effort into achieving your goals and achieving that you want to become that one person. I feel like competition really helps you like commit to that dedication, and then at the end, like knowing the fact that you put the hard work will satisfy and probably even accomplish that goal.
I agree with Eric. And I think that the second critique is like, I agree with the second critique because I think you're just out there like trying to have a good life and it doesn't depend on nobody but yourself. For example, like you see a lot of like poor people out there in the streets like bums and like why don't they have like a good life? I guess I'm thinking it's that, you know, they didn't put enough effort, you know, to say, oh, I want a good life and all that. Like for example, my sister, she was having a lot of like financial aid throughout college. Like she was getting her phone bill paid and like stuff like that. But I think it's also like credit to her, like she always did like the best to, you know, get like have the life she wants. You know, she was out there like by herself. You know,
You said how you said that some people don't put the effort, like homeless. Like what if like homeless are homeless because they got injured and then after that they became homeless, and then you know how you see them homeless and then you go to a restaurant, people don't want them there because they look all ugly, but other people don't want to help them for them to like, become better people. Like we have to help them in order for them to achieve as well.
I agree with her because pretty much going back to what Mark is saying, that life's a competition. They just want to worry about themselves, and they don't like. They're always like trying to think that they want to be the best. They always want to be like. They always want to be higher than other people, like especially money wise.
5 minutes.
I'd love to agree with Stephanie. Like in the movie, we seen the poor guy when he was watching TV. Like at the end of the movie, we see him like looking rich and stuff. He didn't like he gave up his freedom, I could say, just for the money. because he just wanted to be out there competing with other people and being rich like the other people there. So yeah.
But what about like those, there's poor people that are capable of getting a job, but then they're just lazy enough not to get, or like try to get a job.
What do you think about
Actually, what Eric said about like there's homeless that they need help and stuff, and that they can achieve by themselves. But there's others that are just there because they're lazy and because they don't want to work or anything, so they just stand there and ask for money. But they could actually just they could actually work like in a real job and not just stand there or like get an education or something. Like, they can do it by themselves. They're just too lazy to do it.
Should we finish the last question? Yes. So, in what ways can we reduce the functioning of ideology and should we? I said that there is no way we can resist ideology because I mean, even if you don't believe in ideology, you don't to that is still an ideology itself. The whole world is like ideology, and we all need ideology in order for things to like make sense, like Roma had said before. And I feel like, yeah, there's like no way any of us can resist it even if we wanted to.
I agree.
I kind of disagree with you because like it depends what type of ideology it is because in the movie like you know how they created the organization to go against the capitalism. So because like it depends on the ideology that they're trying to like to make you believe in because like the people that created the organization didn't feel like capitalism like they excluded them, so they felt like they need to do something against that type of ideology, so they did.
I agree with you. Like you can resist ideology. I mean, you cannot resist ideology. You can resist types of ideology. Like you cannot resist ideas, but like how do I say it? Like you like how people say you could resist capitalism and all that, but to like other like general ideas you can't resist. And yeah.
Way that I was gonna try to resist I try to resist the religious ideology, and way by doing that is submitting to facts. This is what officer said in that one passage that you must resist to facts. It's the best way for you to understand the world, and I do that. I question the church. I question the pope, the priest. I don't go to church that time. I resist it.
What do you think, Christina?
So ideology in general, I don't think we should resist it because we need it to understand the world we live in. We need that unconsciousness part of our brain to do the most basic things like breathing because even though we don't know we have ideology, we just need it or else we would all be dead right now and there would be no human in this world. So we need ideology even though we might not agree with it or
Yeah, I think this ideology, like the law that are set here in this type of government, I think it's really like, well, in my opinion, it's pretty fair to everyone, and everybody gets something out of it, and it helps also as an individual out with certain needs that they need.
Yeah, I agree with Christina that we really can't resist ideology because it's like how we organize things, and if we didn't, then like life would be a mess.
In the movie, the guy resisted ideology, and he did that by exposing it. I'm not saying that we can't. It's impossible, but like, what ways can we do? Like the same thing he did in the real world.
I agree, but didn't he die at the end? So I mean, he
Die to expose.
did, but like not everybody. He did create like the little changes. More people got to see ideology, but I don't believe it had like a big effect on the world.
But I think like they saw the difference in government, like how they were being actually run.
Yeah, I agree with them. Like, regular people that they get to see